One could argue that the ongoing conflict in Iran has led to Trump getting somewhat distracted by other things. Calling on Truth Social as he did to re-engage with Kim Jong Un, praising his very good relationship with Kim Jong Un, could be a sort of convenient way to deflect attention away from what's going on in the Iran case. I think on the part of North Korea, everything that's happened in Iran, the redeployment of US missile defense systems in South Korea, well, parts of the systems from South Korea to the Middle East earlier this year, all of this plays into Kim Jong Un's hands, as well as China's hands as well.
Now, Donald Trump is working to secure a meeting with the North Korean leader Kim Jong Un in an attempt to get him to abandon the country's nuclear weapons program. It's reported that the president is pushing for face-to-face talks as soon as November, when Kim is expected to travel to China for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Well, Edward Howell is a lecturer in international relations at the University of Oxford and the author of the upcoming book, A New Axis of Upheaval, North Korea, Russia, China, Iran, and joins me now. Hello, Edward.
Good morning. It's very good to be here.
Good to have you with us. So, look, Kim Jong Un, he's been pretty firm that North Korea will not give up its nuclear weapons. So what could Donald Trump realistically hope to get out of him?
Well, I mean, Trump has always had an interest in and a personal penchant for dialogue with Kim Jong Un. When Trump met the South Korean president, Lee Jae-myung, for the first time in August last year, 90% of the public discussion in the Oval Office, broadcast to the world, was focused on Trump potentially meeting with Kim Jong Un again. I think if you're Kim Jong Un ultimately wants recognition of North Korea as a nuclear weapon state. That has long been Kim Jong Un's ultimate objective, and this is what he wants from Trump. Trump is not going to get any nuclear concessions from Kim. Kim has made very clear, in fact, that the starting point of any dialogue with Trump or with the US more broadly, is acceptance of North Korea's nuclear weapons status. But that said, Kim hasn't bolted the door to dialogue with the US completely. The door might be closing, but it's certainly not bolted.
How much has one might say, debacle in Iran, which was, of course, also over nuclear weapons, changed the balance of power between the United States and North Korea?
Well, on the part of the Trump administration, one could argue that the ongoing conflict in Iran has led to Trump getting somewhat distracted by other things. Calling on Truth Social as he did to re-engage with Kim Jong Un, praising his very good relationship with Kim Jong Un, could be a sort of convenient way to deflect attention away from what's going on in the Iran case. I think on the part of North Korea, everything that's happened in Iran, the redeployment of US missile defense systems in South Korea, well, parts of the systems from South Korea to the Middle East earlier this year, all of this plays into Kim Jong Un's hands, as well as China's hands as well.
Yeah, and look, the personal relationship the two men are deemed to have, not least by Trump himself, how much difference can and will that make? I mean, if there aren't actual concessions that either side is prepared to make, then all the warm words in the world, I mean, they don't really matter a huge amount, do they?
I think what would be very interesting to see is how this, whatever you want to call it, bromance between Trump and Kim, that began in 2018 and took a long time to get going. The two leaders back then, during the first Trump administration, had never met before. How it plays out in 2026, because the geopolitical situation on the part of South Korea, on the part of the US and the West, has got worse. North Korea is now in an alliance with Russia. The US is facing multiple threats to its homeland of countries working together: North Korea, Russia, China, and Iran. And at the moment, I think what will be interesting to see is how North Korea responds to Trump's overtures. Trump has said that North Korea has responded, but North Korea is yet to confirm in detail how it has responded and what it thinks about Trump's latest overture.
That relationship with Russia that you mentioned, and we know that North Korea has been sending, but not just arms, but also troops to assist Russia. Has that strengthened North Korea's position at the negotiating table, would you say?
Certainly. I think Kim Jong Un is North Korea's most emboldened and most successful leader. He's been far more successful than his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, was during the Cold War. when Kim Il-sung was trying to play off the Soviet Union and China to get maximum benefits. I mean, the North Korea-Russia alliance has benefited Russia immensely, and it's benefited North Korea even more. Pyongyang is receiving everything it needs, humanitarian assistance, missile technology from Russia. But interestingly, while some might say that this would lead to Kim Jong Un rebuffing any overtures from Trump, actually, in my view, Kim would actually be better positioned to take up an opportunity to talk to Trump face to face, give no concessions possible, and continue to benefit from the ties with Russia. The costs of doing so, the costs of meeting Trump face to face now, whilst North Korea is getting all of these benefits, all of these rewards from Russia and from China, are low.
Look, we've heard over the course of the last week significant criticism from Donald Trump levelled at South Korea over its relationship with the United States, of what he sees as being a sort of one-side transactional relationship. How worried should Seoul be, should the South Koreans be, about Donald Trump negotiating directly with Kim?
I mean, this is not the first time that the United States, or the United States under Trump, has agreed to scale back military exercises. In 2018 and in 2019, military exercises were scaled back, and even some were suspended. We can see Trump getting quite frustrated and getting perhaps slightly irritated with respect to the trade relationship and the investment relationship between South Korea and the US on deals that have been planned earlier. I think on the part of South Korea, the US's actions, or Trump's actions, don't leave a good taste in the mouths of those in Seoul, particularly because South Korea's security environment is worsening, not only owing to North Korea, but owing to Russia and China and all of these rogue actors working together. But I think South Korea should view this as an opportunity, in fact, to strengthen the alliance with the US. We haven't actually seen any concerted US disengagement from the Korean Peninsula by means of troop withdrawal or reduction as of yet. And if South Korea can maintain this balance of modernizing the alliance through increasing its own defense spending and its own capabilities on the one hand, and continuing to work with the US to uphold this blood-forged alliance, as it's often called, this ironclad alliance, then hopefully South Korea can withstand this tumult it's going through at the moment.
Edward Howell of the University of Oxford, thank you very much indeed. And Edward is also the author of A New Axis of Upheaval: North Korea, Russia, China, Iran.